And y'all men are having a frenzy in my comments saying, well, we don't get anything in return. That's the whole point.
All right, guys, got to talk about a fascinating story from a modern woman who pretty much is going to be telling other women, don't go 50-50 with a guy. Pay your own bills, pay 100% of the bills, live on your own, or get a roommate. These are the best two options for a woman that's in a relationship or possibly married, okay? Don't go 50-50 with a guy. It is the worst thing a woman can do because it doesn't benefit a woman, okay? So she's going to go ahead and, for lack of a better word, break down her logic in regards to why she thinks this. So let's take a look.
It doesn't make sense for a lot of women to go 50-50, and I'll use me as an example. I live in a studio apartment in Central Phoenix. I pay about $13.50 a month, and that includes utilities, taxes, rent, all that jazz. The only thing it doesn't include is electricity and Wi-Fi. If I find a guy I really like, and we move in together, we would have to get at least a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Now you're like, why do you need a 2-bed, 2-bath? If you've ever lived with a man, if you had brothers, a dad, you know that you want your own bathroom. Plus, I have a lot of curly hair. I don't want no one rushing me in the bathroom when it's hair day. And also, I work from home, so I would need an office. Since I live in a studio and I live alone, it works for me now because I'm the only one here. But if I move in with somebody, I would need my own office. Now, a 2-bed, 2-bath is going to range you from like $2,000 to $2,500. I think my friends that live in a 2-bed, 2-bath, they pay like $2,200, $2,300 right now. But we'll say for shits and gigs, $2,000. I don't know who's finding a 2-bed, 2-bath for $2,000, but for this scenario, we'll just say $2,000. Split that in half, that's $1,000 a piece. So that would save me about $350 a month. We're going to put that aside, and I'm going to tell you why that $350 is not even worth it. Let's move on to electricity. I pay no more than like $75, $80 a month for my electricity, and that's really only in the summer. In the winters, I pay like $30 a month for my electricity because, again, I live in a studio and I have to cool a smaller space so it's less energy. If I move in with a 2-bed, 2-bath with a man, that's already having to cool and heat a bigger space, which is ultimately going to double my electricity bill.
Yeah, so she's already talking about this from a business perspective. Okay, it's all about dollars and cents and how she can save a quick buck from the situation. Okay, there's not a reciprocity bone in her body. Doesn't seem like she's moving with good intentions. She wants to build with a man, build a legacy, so on and so forth. Okay, definitely doesn't love the guy. Okay, whatever guy she's talking about, whatever hypothetical situation she's talking about, there's no sort of love or, you know, wanting to build with a man whatsoever. Okay, she's viewing this from a dollars and cents perspective. How can I save a quick buck and, you know, maybe save a funky $200 in my savings account? That's what it is. But when you think about it, she needs the extra room for her to work from home. Okay, so the reality is she's probably cutting into more of the expenses, the monthly expenses, because she needs more room in order to operate her business or where she works at, so on and so forth. So she's talking about miscellaneous utilities that you may utilize when you come back from work. Meanwhile, she was at home the whole day running up the bill. She is so fixated on what she can do and what she can benefit from the situation versus what you're dealing with and what you're putting up with as a man to progress the relationship.
I have friends that live in a 2-bed, 2-bath, and I live in Arizona. They pay like $300 a month for their electricity. So going off of that, split that in half, that's $150 a piece. That's already double than what I'm paying for my electricity at home in my studio. So that $300, $350 I was saving for rent, it's more like $200 now. Let's move on to Wi-Fi. I only have my phone and my work laptop that run 24/7 that I need for Wi-Fi. And then I have a Roomba and a projector, but they're not running 24/7, but they do go off of Wi-Fi. So I don't need the highest, fastest, most streaming, full Wi-Fi out there. I get the cheapest Wi-Fi, which is $50 a month. If I move in with somebody else, they're going to have their devices also. He might be a gamer too. He might need really good Wi-Fi. That's going to be well over $100. But for shits and gigs, let's just say it's $100. Split that in half, that's $50. I'm already paying that now, so I'm not saving any money in Wi-Fi. So in reality, I'm really only saving $200 a month. And there's a man in my face every day. it's not worth it. The math doesn't math. Like, these men try to convince you that, like, oh, like, even if you go 50-50, like, you're going to be saving a bunch of money.
Are you guys keeping up with her math? Because I looked at the initial comments from the initial video, although I'm not keeping up with the math myself because there's just so much nonsense going on here. A lot of the people were saying that her math ain't even mathing, right? Like, the math that she's talking about makes absolutely no sense. Again, these modern women are talking about a business, right? They're talking about a business. They're talking about overhead costs. They're talking about, inflation. They're talking about things that a business owner will talk about when he's running and operating a business. This is how these modern women view these kind of situations. And God forbid you were to lose your job, you run out of sick days. If you sniffle, yeah, that relationship is on the line because she's already looking at her exit plan to replace you or to move out and go about her business. Okay, this is the reason why a lot of men are just simply going their own way or grabbing their passport and finding a more submissive, cooperative woman. Okay, a woman that doesn't have this toxic ideology on what a relationship is about. And assuming she's talking common law here, why would a man want to invest in getting married, okay, $30,000, $40,000 into a wedding, cars, house, so on and so forth? Why would a man put himself in a financial situation where he's taking care of the responsibilities of the bills to deal with a woman that has this mindset?
Because you have to ultimately move into a bigger space, and it's going to be more for electricity, more for Wi-Fi, and I still have to pay like my phone bill and my car. So in reality, it does not benefit me to move in with a man unless he's paying majority of the bills. And if you come to me and you're like, Zena, no, there's a way that I can save you like $600, $700 if you move in with me. If that's the case, then why wouldn't I just get a roommate if that was the case? Because with a roommate, it's like no strings attached. I'll have my own room. I can put like my office stuff and my desk in my room. I wouldn't feel obligated to hang out with my roommate. I wouldn't feel obligated to do anything because they're my roommate and there's no strings attached. So for me, personally, it does not financially or logically make sense for me to move in with a man and go 50-50. And that's why I never will.
All right, guys, so there you have it. Okay, so me, what I can extract from the situation. Okay, you as a man, you don't matter. Okay, you are a afterthought because I'm pouring into my campaign as a woman. Okay, as a independent woman that's relying on a man to take care of her. Yeah, it's all about me. Okay, and this is what she's promoting to young women out here. And the sad thing is, there's young women that are gonna watch this and think this is the gospel. Okay, they're gonna actually think this is a flex. Okay, this is the move as a independent woman. Yeah, if he's not paying the bills and I'm not benefiting 100% from the situation, then he's not a real man, right? You're not a real man because, yeah, you're not allowing me to walk all over you and just for me to get whatever I want from the situation, right? To have a one-sided situation where there's no sort of reciprocity. All right, guys, so as you could imagine, the mendom in the comment section were going off. Okay, they were saying, what's the point? So she made another TikTok video responding to some of the concerns in the comment section. So let's take a look.
I can see my video went over every single one of y'all incel man's brains, over all y'all heads. So let me break it down even further.
Yeah, so shame, incel, guilt need to be right. Okay, I mean, that's the play, right? You start to push back a little bit on their logic and question their nonsense. Okay, really, their delusional nonsense. They push back with the shame and insult. Truly, truly fascinating, but let's keep going.
Y'all lost the point of the video. We all just angry in my comments. My whole point of the video was men trying to convince women that 50-50 benefits both parties when I literally just proved that 50-50 doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. So that's why I said my only incentive to move in with a man is if he paid majority of the bill. And y'all men are having a frenzy in my comments saying, well, we don't get anything in return. That's the whole point.
Yeah, so you heard it yourself, okay? These modern women don't give a damn about you, okay? She is literally saying it in 4K. She really is, okay? Because relationships for some of these modern women is transactional. That's all it is. Most men don't go into a relationship thinking how they can get richer from the relationship, okay? They're not thinking about, from a monetary perspective, how I could benefit, okay? Majority of guys, high value, high productive, high capable men want a woman that's gonna respect him, okay? Woman that's gonna respect him, loyalty, trust, honesty, that's it. Literally being a good person and being cooperative in a relationship, literally. She's so clogged up with money and greed that it's coming out of her pores, okay? She doesn't realize that majority of men don't care about her money.
You wouldn't do anything that wouldn't benefit you, so why the should I do something that doesn't benefit me? Sat here trying to convince women that 50-50s benefit both parties when in reality it only benefits men, and I just proved that via the numbers, via my expenses. Y'all come into a frenzy when I said it doesn't benefit me unless someone's paying my bills, unless someone is paying like majority of the bills, because that makes the most sense financially for me. And you're saying that doesn't make the whole sense financially for you. That's the whole point. There is no reason to cohabitate with men because it doesn't benefit any party. One party will come out on top and the other one will come out on bottom. So stop trying to convince women to live with you when it doesn't benefit women in any way, shape, or form, and it only benefits you. That's manipulation.
All right, guys, so there you have it, okay? A little gaslighting on top to seal the deal, okay? Truly, truly fascinating. It really is. And when you're looking at this stat where by 2030, 45, give or take, % of women are going to be single and childless in the West, this is the reason why, okay? This type of propaganda, the fear mongering, okay, telling women, hey, don't get with a man, don't go 50-50, build with a man, lead with good intentions, possibly get married, so on and so forth. No, don't do that, okay? If you work from home and you're a boss girl, boss diva, okay, an independent woman, meanwhile, you're relying on a man to pay your bills, yeah, that's the way to go, okay? Don't worry about building with a man and building a legacy. Truly, truly fascinating. But let's go ahead and check out some of these comments. Now, look at it from a man's perspective. I doubled my bills and all I get is you. All right, so next commenter says, your math ain't mathin'. There's a reason these types of women will remain single. All right, so next commenter says, I really sat here and listened to a yap session that wasn't logical. Yapping session indeed, absolutely. But I think these videos are important because these types of modern women are not going to approach it from this perspective. Okay, they're going to stroke your ego, whisper sweet nothings in your ear. They may leverage the box or provide the box sparingly to keep you on that hamster wheel and keep you going. Okay, a lot of these modern women know who to play with. They know who to run these games with. You're here thinking that you found your dream girl. Meanwhile, she's throwing dirt on your name in the group chat. Okay, it gets a whole lot deeper than that. It really does. But let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and provide me some feedback. And until next time.